to this week's YouTube blog from Barton Burner Services. We're going to do another day in the life. Apart from it's usually a week in a life, but that's what we're going to be doing. But we're going to have a little twist this week. We've got a special guest. So we are going to include Holly's Heating Services. So it's primarily Holly and it's her partner Dan, and they're great. They are literally just as busy as us, and her work is fantastic. And we got to know Holly quite well, only through Instagram really, just have the same values about the job and what's right and what's wrong, and we bounce off each other for advice sometimes, and it's great. So we thought we'd do something a bit different, so we're going to see what my boys are getting up to, what I'm getting up to, and well, frankly, what they're getting up to in Kent. So as always, thanks very much for subscribing. We love it. Thanks for the comment. We had some great comments last week. I didn't have to chuckle. I had a couple of words I didn't quite say right, and I got picked up on them. I thought it was brilliant. It did make me chuckle. So yeah, keep the comments coming. It's great. So over to this week's vlog.
Hey, I'm Holly from Holly's Heating Services. I've been a female, obviously I've been female since I was born, but I've been an off-tech technician now for, golly gosh, I think it's 8 years now. My business started in 2017, and all we do is oil stuff. That's all myself and my partner Daniel do. So with that in mind, today I'm going to take you guys onto a job that I'm doing. It's a breakdown on a Sooted oil boiler, pool boiler. I've no idea what the issue is, but I do know that there has been a flood in that room. So let's go and see what the hell's going on there, shall we?
Wow, good morning everyone. Look at this for a lovely job. So one of the valves is constantly keeps firing the boiler. So when we come here, we could see the ground floor, but we didn't know where the other valves were. But as you can see, the hot water and the first floor, and then another one behind there. So wish me luck. I need to change it. Over to Holly.
So I am in a sort of little pool outhouse, and we've got a Sooted boiler that was installed about 3 years ago, so it's quite a new boiler. There's the pool, lovely, lovely. I'm in lovely Chislehurst today. And basically what happened, the old sand filter on this thing here, it was a blue one, and it completely disintegrated basically, and it flooded the boiler house. So the boiler's now not working. Dan tried to service it last week and it wouldn't fire. So I'm here to see what's going on. So you can see we have lockout oil, there's plenty of oil. And we've got the old Mectron burner here that's on lockout, and you can see the rusting on the bottom of this boiler where the water has come in, and it's quite a shame really to see a 3-year-old boiler looking like this. But so as with lockout, first thing you do is the oil pressure. So I'm just going to check the oil pressure and see what happens first. Put the oil back on. I can get my hand in there we go. Cool. Okay, so from that I can see the oil pressure's fine. You had about 50 psi washing pressure. And then when the solenoid lifts, it goes up to whichever pressure it should be. So in this case, it was about 10 bar or 150 psi-ish. So we know that the oil pump's okay, that we know that the fuel getting to the oil pump is okay. We know that the motor and the fan are okay, because without those working fine, we wouldn't have any oil pressure. So my next stage is to check the solenoid, see if that's magnetizing. And then that's the next stage that we go from there really. So a basic check you can do is to see if it's magnetising. You pass something metal through and see if the solenoid grips it. And I usually use a very old-fashioned Allen key. If I can get it out. Nothing.
Right, so I am currently on my way to a wonderful little village called Barton to go back to a house that I went to at the weekend, because when I arrived at this house at the weekend, the boiler was totally sooted up. Now, very unlucky for me and the customer, it was pouring down with rain, and I mean torrential rain. This whole village has been flooded. I'm returning back to the house now to clean all of the soot out of the boiler. I think it's a nozzle that's failed, but there could be a few different things that cause this soot up, so we're going to investigate. And like I said, I decided, you know, this time I'm going to bring you guys with me. I'm going to give you a little show of this horrible but very oddly satisfying sooted up boiler. I'll meet you when we get there. That's not good.
To a power flush. I love power flushing sometimes I hate power flushing because basically it's boring, but there we go. So I'm not sure how long this one's going to take. This was only power flushed a year ago. We've just had to work on the system. I noticed it's slightly dirty, so I just said to the customer, look, it won't hurt to put the flusher on just to see where we're at with it. So I might only be here a couple of hours, it might actually be okay, or I might be here all day. So yeah, we will see what happens. Here we go, machine's all plugged in, plugged onto where the circulating pump is at the moment, the flow and returns with the adapters around here. Okay, and then we're going to go out to the drain. Yeah, so here we go. Wish me luck with the power flush, let's hope it's not a dirty one.
So that job is now complete. It was a solenoid valve that was stopping the burner from firing properly. All done. Customers happy, they get to have a warm pool now, which is amazing. And yeah, back to the boys at Barton.
Thanks Holly for that one. Right, you now join me at a lovely breakdown of a Grant combi, you know. And this video I'm also putting out to my father Robert, because he wants, you know, more detailed video. So I'm going to give him a very detailed video. So you see, lovely Grant combi. It keeps locking out. So we press that little thing. We've got a little gauge in there. See, we've got a bit of pressure. Got fire eventually. There you go, see it's firing, it's trying, bless it. Go on, go on. Sorry, I knew that wasn't going to fire. So, what I've done so far is I checked the nozzle, that was all okay. Then I've checked all the filters here. I'll say it's this line down there. As you can see, the wet spot. Say fire bell is absolutely fine. But what the boiler is lacking fuel at the moment. So the next step is we're going to take the little burner out, and then we're going to see what we're getting, see what oil we're getting through there. Right, so I've stripped all the filter apart, stripped all the pump apart, and they seem to all be clean and happy and dandy. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is, let's see, we're going to put a new pump on there. If I can get this off. You can have a little house put a pump on, you see, got a little coupling in there. Oh, actually, with a new pump comes a new coupling, which is good. The idea of the coupling, which you probably may or may not know, is that it sits on the little the pump shaft. Then this sits inside the motor. When the motor's spinning, it spins the pump, sucks it all through. There you go. So let's take that old one out. Then we'll put the new one in. Don't know if you can see that. Nice and gentle. Give it a little wiggle. Give it a little wiggle. There we go. Good old pumps. There we go. Right. With these, make sure you never, I say, so what I do is I get a finger tight and give them a bit of a nip. And then, yeah. Just so if you over tighten them, then what happens is they leak and you can never get them to seal. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's put the pump back on. Make it all happy and dandy. Obviously make sure you do your screws up. This is how you know if you've got a good engineer or a bad engineer. There's 3 screws on the motor. Most people miss the one under there, they're lazy. Well, we don't. We do them all up because what happens is they'll vibrate and cause noise, and then that's another return, which we do not like. So put that on. Right, so we'll undo that. So we've got a bit of oil out, but as you can see, we've got a nice towel. We've got to protect the customer's property. We'll screw that in. So we have a little recap. We know we've got oil. We checked all the filters, they're all clear. The oil's getting to the boiler. It's just not going through the burner and pushing out the nozzle. So that's what's making me think the pump, which we will soon find out. Right, so there we go. So now let's see what happens. We've got our little hose here. Let's get that out of the way temporarily. Let's turn it all back on. We've got a nut done up. Make sure it's nice and sturdy. And then we'll turn the isolator on. Obviously at the moment, because it is a breakdown, it's in lockout. Let's see if the new pump control fits. If we put that on, that'll be a bit quieter for you. Run right for your ears. Ooh. And there we go. That's how you fix a Grand Combi 101. So the boiler's been running for probably about 5-10 minutes now, but to make sure it keeps on running, clicking in and out. I'll put my emission tester in it, and you can see it's running a bit airy, let's say, but I don't know the right word. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to adjust it. Because it's below what it's meant to be, you turn it anti-clockwise, and then what you do is you shut the air, and then yeah, and when you shut the air it goes up. So we'll do that. On these boilers, roughly between, I say 11.5 and 11.12, you don't really want it a bit richer, that might cause problems. You don't really want it to sit up. That's looking a bit healthier. Carbon monoxide, I say yeah, below 100 like it's meant to be, which is really good. But I say I did stick a new nozzle, it's got a new pump, it's burning some stuff off, so that should drop a little bit. But yeah, once it warms up, that should creep up to about 11.75, 11.78, and I say that's bang on between 11.5 and 12. So, oh, as far as I see, yeah, happy boiler.
So 6 hours later, I take it absolutely crystal clear. There's quite a bit of dirt in this one. But as you can see now, it's as clear as clear. So I'm just draining off, and I'm going to run the system up, and I'm going to see how we get on. Okay, power flush done. Not that bad. About 6 hours. That one's gone on the floor. Yeah, about 6 hours worth of that. So yeah, not really hardly anything. But at the end of the day, there is something on it, as you can see. So in my opinion, it was still worth doing. So I'm happy because the system, even though it's got a tiny bit on there, after all the flushing, seems to be running a hell of a lot better now. I've got really good circulation. All the radiators getting red hot where some of them weren't getting hot at the bottom. So I'm really happy. So I better crack on with my next one. Over to Ryan.
Right, so as you can see, Got the soot cleaned out of the boiler now. Got a new gasket on there, ready to go. Just got to go through the yellow RDB next. It's all gone well really. Just remember people, if you're an engineer out there, if you get a sooted up Grant, especially a sooted up Grant or any sooted up condensing boiler, make sure you clean it properly. Don't be lazy. Get all the soot out of it or else it'll soot up again. When you're cleaning these straws out here, make sure you pull every single one of them out. Get your torch, look right down to the end, make sure they're not blocked. This one luckily has obviously been serviced well in the past and there's no blockage, which makes my life really easy. But again, always make sure if you have a sooted Grant, any sooted condensing boiler, you actually clean every single bit of soot out of it or else it will return. Anyway, onto the burner. Right, so here you are, boiler's running, all back together. As you can see, it's dark. It's about 7 o'clock right now. It took me a few hours, but we got it there in the end. You can see, nice and happy running. Just warming up the analyzer. As you can see, a bit smoky, still burning off a little bit of soot. There's, again, like I said earlier, you have to clean them very well, but there's always little bits you can't get to. So you have to let them run for 5 minutes just to clean that, just to burn off that layer of soot. But yeah, job done. Quick stop at the local bakery. Look at the carnage. Woo! The carnage. Look at it steaming. Well deserved.
Okay, so that is it for this week. It's been really busy. It's always busy this time of year. The temperature's gone down a little bit, so everyone's putting their heating on and suddenly it's a little bit more urgent. So obviously for heating engineers this time of year, we're very, very busy. So that's me done. I'm on my way home now. So one more thing, happy birthday to Isabel, who is 18. Got your whole life ahead of you, girl. Happy birthday. Yeah, stay safe everyone, and peace out.
Great stuff, Holly, and thanks so much for taking part in this week's YouTube vlog. You have been brilliant. Thank you very much. Anyway, that's also it from us. So until next time, thank you very much for watching this week's vlog. And on one final note, Isabel, 18. My niece is 18, everybody. So, I love her to bits. Have a great time on your birthday. And yeah, we'll be catching up with you very soon as well. So until next week, everybody, stay safe.
I'm really dirty. Hold on. Am I okay? Am I good for camera?
Right, Auntie Karen, for this one, what you're going to do is, you know them little like black screens so you drop down, that dramatic effect, you're going to add this onto this. Oh my god, what are we going to do? Customers are cold, I don't know what to do. No need to worry, past Ben. Future Ben's here, about to sort it out.
Back to the boys at Barton. Hope that's enough for you. I'm currently eating 20 chicken nuggets.